Hello, my name is Stephen Conn, and I'm the W. E. Smith Professor of History at Miami University. This is the one in Ohio, not the one in Florida. So you got to think cornfields, not Cuban food. And I'd like to invite you to join me for a discussion of 5 things I've learned about America's urban-rural divide. Let's just summarize it by saying it's the geography, stupid. For the last decade or so, I've been thinking a lot about this geography of our politics, about the hostility between the urban and rural that shapes a great deal of our political conversation, our policy choices, the fights over what it means to be American, and that are reflected all the time in our electoral maps. The urban-rural divide has been coded into our political understanding. We all know the blue and red maps about our national elections. Remember that in 2016, Hillary Clinton won a mere 15% of all the counties in the country, but they were all the urban counties. And so she garnered 3 million more votes than Donald Trump. And yet, because rural votes constitutionally have more weight, the loser wound up winning. All of which is to say, we need to understand the dynamics that go on between urban and rural. But I'm a historian, so the way I understand the world is to dig into just how the present got to be the way it is and to think about how the past contours the present. And the result of all of that digging in archives, local libraries, old newspapers, government reports, has been 2 books that explore the nature of this urban-rural divide. The first, Americans Against the City, was published back about 10 years ago in 2014. And the second, The Lies of the Land, Seeing Rural America for What It Is and Isn't, came out late in 2023. In this 90-minute class, I want to share my findings with you about the urban and the rural. I want to raise some questions I hope will provoke, like why, when 80% of us now live in large metro areas, do so many Americans dislike their cities? Has rural America really been left behind? Is rural America even a thing at all? My goal is to introduce you to some of the things you may not have thought about before, and to put some of the things you know in a new context. And I want to talk with you about it all as well. The stakes here aren't only political. How we understand urban and rural speaks to how we value and appreciate the places we inhabit and the futures we can imagine for them. You know, in some ways, the work I've been doing over the last decade or so has been an attempt to make sense of my own experiences. I'm a city kid by upbringing and inclination, raised in Philadelphia, in fact, but I now live in a tiny town in rural Southwest Ohio. I've been trying to make sense of all the contradictions I have seen and experienced moving back and forth between urban and rural worlds. So please join me for what I promise will be a lively and interesting conversation.